A 74-year-old man in Kyoto accidentally discovered this while taking his morning shower. Within 11 days, his wife asked him if he was secretly taking medication. He wasn't. What he was doing, for just 40 seconds under warm water, was forcing open the exact blood vessels that medication tries to target artificially. And when I tested this with my patients in the States, men who couldn't achieve hardness without pills started throwing their prescriptions away. This has nothing to do with supplements. It's a vascular reset your body is begging you to activate. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do it before this video ends. Here's what Harvard researchers discovered in 2023 that changes everything. Between 6:30 and 8 a.m., the endothelial cells lining your penile arteries are 340% more receptive to expansion signals than any other time of day. But here's the catch. If those cells are coated in what scientists call microplaque from overnight blood stagnation, that window slams shut before your body can use it. The Japanese shower technique works because it does something medication can't. It physically flushes microplaque from your arterial walls using temperature contrast and gravitational blood pooling. That's why men in Osaka, where this practice is taught in senior wellness centers, report firm, medication-free erections well into their 80s. This isn't about blood thinners. It's about cleaning the highway so blood can actually reach the destination. Now, most men don't realize that while you're sleeping, your blood circulation slows dramatically. Your heart rate drops. Your blood pressure decreases. And all that fluid you drank during the day, your body processes it, and by morning, your blood is at its thickest point of the entire 24-hour cycle. That thickness, that viscosity, makes it harder for blood to flow through the small arteries in your pelvis. Add in the fact that you've been lying horizontal for 7 or 8 hours, and you've got blood pooling in areas where it shouldn't, while the areas that need it most, like your pelvic region, are getting starved. This is why so many men over 60 wake up without morning erections. It's not that their body stopped working. It's that their circulation hasn't been given the wake-up call it needs. I learned about this 4 years ago in the most unexpected place. I was speaking at an international urology conference in Osaka, and during a break, I overheard 2 older Japanese men, both urologists, laughing in the bathroom hallway. One said to the other in English, "Americans think everything needs a prescription. My patients just use hot and cold water." I stopped dead in my tracks. I introduced myself and asked what he meant. What he told me in the next 5 minutes has transformed how I treat every man over 60 who walks into my practice. Because when I looked at the clinical data from his region, the numbers didn't lie. Men in his prefecture had 70% lower rates of severe erectile dysfunction compared to matched populations in the US. And the primary difference? A 40-second morning shower habit. He explained to me that in Okinawa and other regions of Japan, this practice isn't seen as a medical treatment. It's seen as basic hygiene. Like brushing your teeth. Like washing your face. You do it every morning because it keeps your circulation healthy. And the results speak for themselves. These men aren't relying on pills. They're not spending thousands on treatments. They're just giving their bodies a daily mechanical reset that Western medicine has completely overlooked. Let me tell you what's really happening when firmness disappears. Your body is sending you 3 warnings simultaneously. First, cardiovascular betrayal. Cardiologists now know that erectile dysfunction appears an average of 3 to 5 years before a heart attack. Your penis is the first alarm bell because those blood vessels are smaller. Only 1 to 2 millimeters in diameter compared to the 3 to 4 millimeters in your coronary arteries. When they can't fill, it means your coronary arteries are next. Second, neurological betrayal. Poor pelvic blood flow means poor brain blood flow. Studies show men with untreated ED have 60% higher rates of cognitive decline within a decade. Your memory, focus, decision-making, all compromised by the same vascular breakdown. Third, identity betrayal. I've sat across from men who've told me they stopped initiating intimacy not because desire died, but because the fear of failure became unbearable. They avoid situations where their body might expose them. They pull away from their partners. They lose the confidence that made them feel masculine. This isn't vanity. This is your body screaming that something fundamental is broken. And ignoring it doesn't just cost you performance. It costs you years of life. Let me introduce you to Marcus. He's 71, a retired firefighter from Pennsylvania. When he came to me last year, he was defeated. He told me, "Doc, I've been strong my whole life. I've carried people out of burning buildings. And now I can't even finish that sentence." Marcus had tried everything. Cialis gave him splitting headaches. Viagra made his vision blurry. His doctor told him, "It's just your age, Marcus. Learn to live with it." But his blood work told a different story. His endothelial function test, the gold standard for arterial health, showed his blood vessels were barely responding to expansion signals. His nitric oxide levels were in the bottom 15th percentile for his age. And his morning testosterone surge? Flatlined. What broke my heart was watching Marcus blame himself. He kept saying, "I must have done something wrong. I should have exercised more. I should have eaten better." But the truth is, Marcus had done everything right. He walked every day. He ate relatively well. He didn't smoke. The problem wasn't his lifestyle. The problem was that nobody had ever taught him how to actively maintain his vascular health. Nobody told him that circulation needs daily mechanical stimulation to stay responsive. I told Marcus about the Japanese shower technique. He looked at me like I'd lost my mind. He said, "You want me to take a specific kind of shower, and that's going to fix what medication couldn't." I said, "Marcus, try it for 11 days. If nothing changes, we'll explore other options." What happened next still gives me chills. But before I tell you what happened to Marcus, you need to understand what this technique does to your vascular system, step by step. Because once you see the mechanism, Marcus's transformation will make perfect sense. Here's what happens inside your penile arteries when you do this correctly. Phase 1. Vasodilation priming. When warm water, specifically 102 to 105 degrees Fahrenheit, hits your lower abdomen and inner thighs for 20 seconds, your peripheral blood vessels dilate. This triggers a chain reaction. Your body releases nitric oxide, the same molecule medications try to mimic. But here's the key difference. Medication floods your whole system. This targets only the pelvic region because that's where the heat is concentrated. Your body is smart. It directs blood flow to areas that are experiencing temperature changes because historically, that meant those areas needed attention. Phase 2, microplaque disruption. After 20 seconds of warmth, you switch to cool water, 65 to 70 degrees, for 10 seconds on the same areas. This rapid temperature drop causes vasoconstriction, then immediate rebound dilation. That mechanical squeeze and release physically dislodges microplaque that's been coating your arterial walls. Think of it like power washing a dirty pipe. The pressure change creates shear force that breaks loose deposits without damaging the vessel walls themselves. Phase 3. Gravitational pooling. You repeat the hot-cold cycle twice more while doing gentle pelvic floor engagement. This forces freshly oxygenated blood into your pelvic region and trains your vessels to stay open longer. A 2019 study from Osaka University showed this exact protocol increased penile blood flow by an average of 43% after just 10 days. That's not a small improvement. That's the difference between struggle and success. Now, the reason this works so powerfully for men over 60 specifically comes down to how your vascular system ages. After 60, 3 things happen that create what I call the circulation collapse. Your arterial walls become less elastic. They lose their ability to expand and contract smoothly. This happens because of a protein called elastin that breaks down over time. Your nitric oxide production drops by about 12% every decade after 40, which means by 70, you're working with half the nitric oxide you had at 40. And your blood becomes more viscous, thicker, because of chronic inflammation, reduced hydration overnight, and changes in how your red blood cells behave. These 3 factors combine to create a perfect storm where even if you have desire, even if you have testosterone, your body physically can't deliver blood to where it needs to go. Medication tries to force the issue. It artificially cranks up nitric oxide or blocks the enzyme that breaks it down. But forcing blood through clogged, stiff pipes just stresses your cardiovascular system even more. That's why so many men experience side effects. Headaches from blood being forced into brain vessels that aren't ready for it. Vision changes from pressure on the optic nerve. Even dangerous blood pressure drops. The shower protocol works differently. It clears the blockage, restores elasticity, and retrains your vessels to respond naturally. You're not overriding your body's systems. You're reminding them how to function properly. Alright, here's exactly how you do it. You'll do this at the very end of your morning shower. Total time, 40 seconds. Step 1. Warm water focus 20 seconds. Adjust your shower to 102 to 105 degrees. You can test this by feel. It should be warm and comfortable, not scalding. If you're not sure, it should feel like a hot bath, not a hot tub. Aim the stream directly at your lower abdomen, about 2 inches above your pubic bone. Let it flow down over your groin and inner thighs. Breathe slowly and deeply. You should feel a gentle warming sensation spreading through your pelvic area. This is priming your vessels and triggering nitric oxide release. Don't rush this. The warmth needs time to penetrate and signal your blood vessels to open. Some men tell me they feel a slight pulsing sensation as blood flow increases. That's exactly what you want. Step 2. Cool water contrast 10 seconds. Switch to cool water, 65 to 70 degrees. This should feel refreshing, not painfully cold. If your shower doesn't have a temperature display, cool means you can feel the difference immediately, but it's not uncomfortable. Same areas. Lower abdomen, groin, inner thighs. The moment that cool water hits, your vessels will constrict sharply, then rebound. This mechanical flush is what dislodges microplaque and forces stagnant blood out of the area. You might feel a tingling sensation. That's normal. That's your circulation responding. Some men describe it as a waking up feeling in the pelvic region. Step 3. Repeat the cycle, 10 seconds total. Go back to warm for 5 seconds, then cool for 5 seconds. While you're doing this second cycle, engage your pelvic floor muscles. These are the muscles you'd use to stop urination midstream. If you're not sure which muscles those are, next time you urinate, try to stop the flow. Those are your pelvic floor muscles. Squeeze them firmly for 3 seconds, release for 2 seconds. Do this twice during the final 10 seconds. You're forcing freshly oxygenated blood into the exact area that needs it most. This combination of temperature contrast and muscle engagement creates a pumping action that medication simply cannot replicate. That's it. 40 seconds. 3 cycles. 1 targeted area. Marcus did this every single morning for 11 days. And here's what happened. On day 7, Marcus texted me at 6:30 in the morning. It was one word, "Doc." I called him back immediately. He said, "I woke up with morning firmness I haven't felt in 4 years." His voice was shaking. He couldn't believe it. He told me he'd actually woken up at 5:30 a.m. and just lay there, amazed at what his body was doing. By day 11, he was nervous to tell me the next part. He said, "My wife and we were intimate last night. No pil. No planning. It just happened naturally." His voice cracked when he told me. Marcus said, "I feel like a man again. Not like I'm trying to be a man. Like I actually am one." His follow-up blood work confirmed what his body was already telling him. Endothelial function improved by 38%. His nitric oxide levels jumped from the bottom 15th percentile to the 60th percentile. And his morning testosterone? Back in normal range. All from 40 seconds of targeted water temperature contrast. But what really got me was what Marcus said next. He told me, "Doc, it's not just about sex. I'm walking taller. I'm making eye contact again. My wife says I seem happier. And you know what? I am." Marcus still does it every single morning. He's 72 now, and last month he told me, "I feel better at 72 than I did at 65. That's what's possible when you clean the pathways instead of forcing chemicals through dirty pipes. Marcus isn't unique. Since I started teaching this protocol, I've seen it work across 3 types of men. Type 1. The medication refugee. Bruce is 68. He'd been on daily Cialis for 3 years. The cost was draining him financially, over $400 a month. And the side effects were draining him physically. Constant headaches, flushed face, that weird pressure behind his eyes. After 2 weeks of the shower protocol, he cut his medication in half. After 30 days, he stopped completely. He told me, "Why would I pay $400 a month when 40 seconds of shower time does the same thing?" Type 2. The skeptical engineer. Thomas is 73. He needed to understand every mechanism before he'd try anything. He researched vascular physiology for a week before starting. He read the Osaka University study. He looked up endothelial function. He even called me with questions about nitric oxide pathways. But once he understood the science, he committed fully. After 18 days, he reported firmer, more reliable erections than he'd had in a decade. He said, "The data doesn't lie. This works." Type 3. The silent sufferer. Leonard is 79. He hadn't told anyone about his struggles. Not his doctor. Not even his wife. He watched one of my videos, tried the protocol without telling anyone, and after 3 weeks finally opened up to his wife about what he'd been doing. She cried with relief. He told me, "I thought my life was over in that department. It's not." These men are different ages, different backgrounds, different severity levels. But they all have one thing in common. They gave their bodies what they needed, and their bodies responded. Now, what I just taught you is the foundation. But if you want the advanced protocol, the exact supplement timing that cuts your recovery from 11 days to 7 days, the foods that amplify nitric oxide 3x, the bedroom techniques that work with this vascular reset, it's all in the complete sexual health blueprint. My private patients pay $500 per session for this information. I've linked it in the description below. But even if you never grab it, do the 40-second shower tomorrow. That alone could change everything. I need you to understand something critical. Every morning you skip this protocol, your microplaque builds thicker. Your endothelial cells become less responsive. And that 7 a.m. vascular window I mentioned at the beginning? It closes tighter and tighter until eventually, even this technique can't force it back open. I've seen men wait too long. They think, "I'll start Monday." But Monday becomes next month. And next month becomes sitting in a cardiologist's office being told their arteries are 70% blocked. Don't let that be you. If you want to protect your heart, your brain, and your performance, if you want to feel like Marcus at 72 instead of defeated at 65, then subscribe to this channel right now. Because I'm going to keep sharing the protocols that conventional doctors either don't know or won't tell you. The ones that work without prescriptions, without expensive clinics, without waiting months for an appointment. Hit that subscribe button. Your future self is depending on you. Now I need to ask you for something. If this video helped you, if you learned something that could change your mornings, there's a man in your life who's suffering in silence. Maybe it's your brother. Maybe it's a friend from church. Maybe it's a neighbor who's stopped coming to poker night because he's lost his confidence. Men don't talk about this. They just quietly fade. So do me a favor. Hit that like button and share this video. Not for me, for him. Because you might be the reason he gets his vitality back. You might be the reason his marriage heals. And that's worth 5 seconds of your time. Don't let another man suffer when the solution is 40 seconds away. In my next video, I'm exposing something that's hiding in almost every home in America. Something you're using every single day that's actively destroying your nitric oxide production and making erections nearly impossible. Even if you do everything else right. It's not a food. It's not a medication. And when I reveal what it is, you're going to be shocked it's even legal. This one thing might be sabotaging every effort you're making. So make sure you're subscribed because that video drops in 2 days. If you're serious about your vascular health, you cannot afford to miss it. I've been treating men's vascular health for 25 years. I've prescribed every medication, tested every supplement, reviewed every clinical trial, and I can tell you with absolute certainty, nothing matches the power of giving your body the mechanical stimulus it needs to heal itself. Temperature contrast, targeted blood flow, vascular training. When you provide those 3 things consistently, your body remembers how to perform. It's been designed to work. You've just been using the wrong tools. The Japanese didn't invent magic. They invented a daily practice. And the difference between men who thrive into their 80s and men who decline in their 60s isn't genetics. It's whether they clean the pipes every single morning. Tomorrow morning, you have a choice. You can wake up and do nothing. Or you can take 40 seconds in the shower and flip the switch your vascular system has been waiting for. Marcus did. Bruce did. Leonard did. Thousands of men in Osaka do it without thinking twice. The question is, will you? I'm Dr. May Anderson, and I'll see you in the next video.